Hello, Jacob Terrero from Yellow Black Sheep here. Just giving you guys a quick update on the vote. I'm still working on it. Should be ready soon in a week or two. I'm still interviewing with the different jobs and trying to get over one night actually of a Russian girl that came to visit me last weekend. Which bringing us to the main topic today is Red Pill 102. Um, If you're familiar with Tom's work, you probably already know much about Red Pill 101, which is why women cheat, the hypergamy from the rational males, or from the manosphere. A lot of those concepts you can look up from very basic to advanced to very blue pill to hardcore red pill. You I won't have to explain it, but if you need, I will make another podcast. Uh, this one is Red Pill 102. What is I already know the theory, but when I experience it in person, it is a totally different experience. And you not only you be you just become more aware of everything more. So like after you took the red pill, but it took a while for Neo in the movie after he took a red pill in order to process everything and be able to function with the red pill in his system, which I found myself finally here after 7 years of gaming and maybe 3 years of gaming with the red pill. It's a long and hard process, which I will have another the video coming up explain about pickup evolution from beginner to red pill, purple pill, and how long the process take, the right expectation. Because I saw a lot of people asking in the Discord group right now, but this is I think this is a very important podcast, especially for me because I wish there was someone was there to explain everything for me, especially when Tom was gone. But this is my experience. Red pill in person in my face like a wet fish in wake me up. So I'm trying to keep it maybe just less than 30 minutes like Tom always do. I don't have the best voice. I don't have the podcast style speaking. I'm a better writer. I'm writing a book right now in Tom memories also on the late report on the lesson that I learned. I might have break it into 2 books, 3 books, but it's a very long book I'm writing right now. Hoping to put it out just for myself and maybe even if it just help one person, just like this podcast, if it just help one person, I would be happy with it because I know I have an accent. I don't have the podcast voice like Tom with charismatic that let you listen to it and do washing dishes and do everything that keep your day better. But I just try to be informative and give you guys whatever I got in person. So yeah, let's get into it. So I met this girl about 6 months ago during the summer in in one of the lowest point, the highest and lowest point of my pickup career, where I finally got the very hot white girls to sleep with me. But then I fell for one night, even though I've been there many times. And I finally tried to figure things out, but I was in a very low point when I met her. Even though I was still very down, I decided to go do some pickup and I met her. And she just got out of an abusive relationship with a boyfriend. So yeah, that issue, warning. I see it right there. But we both were so wounded and so hurtful that we didn't care. We didn't even play game because she told me she used to play game with a guy, get him to buy a free drink and fly her here and there. She's a pretty hot Russian girl, and I did the opposite thing. We do the opposite thing. We hustle girls for money. No, not for money, for sex without paying, and she hustle guy for money. Stuff validation, mainly validation and free alcohol or free drug, anything that she want, guys just bring it after her, and she never had to sleep with anyone. That's that she didn't want to. So, but when we met, we were so low that we didn't wanted to hustle anyone. We just want someone to be there, comforting and accept a part of you that I would call an inner child. It's the concept about of healing or therapies. I don't want this podcast or this channel to be too much about therapy or blue pill, but it's a concept that inner child is a part of you don't want to be loved unconditionally and also want to give love unconditionally, no matter how douchebag you are. And you've seen in all the movie, even the really bad guy, there's a moment that you see something that he wants to experience some realness, even though they try to shut it down very fast. Just like a lot of people, that's why they use drug, alcohol, sex, pickup as well. It's a tool that we use to shut down that part of us that, oh, that's so weak, you shouldn't do that. You should be little. What Tom was what I call it, the 2D alpha. Oh, you should be tough. You don't need to feel anything. So I call it the inner child, where you want to love, you want to be loved unconditionally. Somebody love you for who you are, with or without your game. I guess that's the end goal. Because guys seek for affection, Tom said. And you also want to love someone unconditionally, even though you see all the red flags. You want just to accept the person, because when you're a kid, no matter how, you don't care. If you made a friend on the playground, you will play with him. You don't care what his family do, if he black or white, or how does he behave with his mom, his friend, or if he gonna continue to play with you tomorrow or next week. He might be gone. You don't know. You just don't care. You want to enjoy the moment, love and be loved, and that part is very precious. When we losing them over the years, even doing pickup, you still shut that part out a lot. That I learned. But anyway, get back to the story. So because I've been doing pickup for 7 years, and I've been shutting down that part of myself for a very long time, which result in lack of oxytocin, because I didn't do a lot of things that Tom recommend, like family, female friends. I couldn't have female friends because of things happened in the past, which I will go over in another podcast. Let me take a sip of water right now. It's late at night, and I try to do this podcast before I go to bed, and give everything out for even this podcast help one person. I would be satisfied, because I wish someone has been here and help me with this. And so we met. I didn't play game with her. She didn't hustle me. She said she wouldn't even kiss on the third date. I met her first, and then the second time we hang out the next day, she was only here for a weekend. The second time we met, I have to push. I wasn't going to play game, but I keep wanting to connect, and she kept putting the wall on. Sometimes she let it go. We kissed, we fooling around in the bed, but she didn't want to go further. And I could have pushed for it, but I didn't want to, because I was so hurting after the sex, and the girl left me. The girl didn't come back. That the one before her, that I didn't even care much about sex. I was in such a bad place that sex isn't even the thing is that important anymore. I wasn't even looking for it, to be honest. Anyway, so she left 6 months ago. So 6 months later, I've been working with life coach, therapist, day game coach, trying to get my shit together and getting better. So we've been texting a couple of weeks ago, and she decided to book a ticket to come visit me. And I said, okay. Even though I was kind of nervous, I wasn't sure that I am on top of my shit. I wasn't sure that I won't get too much attached to her, because we had something real compared to all the girls that I game. I bet we all, if you game enough, you might run into a girl like that once in a while. And it's hard to get over. It's easy to get one like this, with a girl like this. So she came visit it, and a few weeks before, I was very nervous, because kind of nervous, even though I still gaming. But she was really hot, so I wanted to be on top of my shit before she came, so I can be ready. mentally, physically. So I went to the gym more, exercise, be healthy, eating diet. I know fast food for a couple of weeks, gaming hardcore, just trying to get my shit together. And yeah, everything getting better. I become more positive, more productive, healthier, getting into better shape in a few weeks. And I can see the progress. And like, okay, maybe I'm kind of ready anyway. So the Daisy came. I can pick her up at the airport, and surprisingly, I don't know. Well, we catch up on the drive home. She had way worse compared to 6 months ago, physically, emotionally, and mentally. And I was surprised because she seemed to be a very strong and independent girl, but it's crazy. I kind of knew about all of this, but see it in person is really opened my eyes. She she got out of the abusive relationship, and now she got into cocaine, alcohol for months, and she tried to quit that. Now she tried to quit cocaine. She quit it. She tried to quit alcohol. She stopped drinking every day to 2-3 days a week. And her body has been abused so much. She looked a lot worse compared to how I met her 6 months ago, physically. And I didn't lost a lot of attraction for her because I'm more connected on an emotional level, which sounds a little more like a beta. But this one of the very few times that I actually experienced this. So, but you know what happened when she back home 6 months ago? Every time a girl feel bad, so this is Red Pill 102. This is the one I don't want mainly. Sorry for ranting so much, but this is the one the important. If you take away anything from this podcast, would be this: when she feel bad 6 months ago, we both were at the lowest point of our life. But what happened to me is I can't get laid. I can't get anything. Like if I go approaching, if I'm not on top of my shit, no girl gonna talk to me, no gonna go on date with me. So I have to be on top of my shit and get my shit together to get something. Just to get some positive reaction. It's not even instant at your sex, even though I did get them eventually. But for her, as a girl, if she feels slightly worse, it's so many easy. I call it a painkiller. You can take a painkiller which is gonna fuck you up in the long run, but it feels good in the moment. And for us, those painkiller is pornography, sex with fatty, the girl you don't like, you don't attractive, you feel disgusting after you come, hooker, escort, alcohol, drug. So for male, yes, it's a painkiller, but you have to. Those are passive. You actually have to reach out and find those things to numb your pain, or if you hate yourself, to numb that. But for girls, it actively throw at her because she had guys spend thousands of dollars just buying cocaine, trying to get her hook, so she stay with her, and guy buying alcohol because they know that she drinking every day, so they giving her even during the time that she's trying to quit. There are always guys like, hey, let's come get a drink with me, come party, let's come smoke some weed, do some cocaine. It's a lot harder for a girl because it's so easy. I hope it makes sense. Just imagine you trying to quit porn, but every time you go home, your roommate had porn on the TV. That would be way harder for you to quit than if you just cut down everything. So that's what happened with the girl. In general, everything comes so easy. It's just she put on a dress, even if she feels shitty about herself. Instead of working on herself, she put on a night dress, go to the club, guy buying her drinks, she feel better herself. For girls, they are just one dress away to get sex with anyone they want. Pretty much anyone in the club. They just one phone call away to somebody bring alcohol, drug, bring them to party. They just one button away to posting something in a bunch of guy online with, oh my god, you're so hot, you're so beautiful, you're so hot. Make them feel a lot better in the short term. And those also gonna fade out, and you will numb to, just like alcohol. You will numb to, girl will numb to all those validation, because your body will build up the tolerance. Dopamine or the alcohol, the same thing, and they want more and more and more and more and more, and so it get really worse. And the first day she was here, we connect kind of the same way we did 6 months ago. We had a good time together. She spent the night. We showered together. We didn't have sex. We was pretty close, but she had a rule of 5 body counts only, and the next person has to be her husband. I'm not sure if she was playing game, even though we did some like other things. So that she doesn't deal with anyone. So I would go a lot further than other guy, but wasn't penetrational sex, which I don't really care, because I just wanted to somebody to hang out with, because I just had sex pretty few months ago, not a month ago, so it wasn't too long. And she knew, so she knew that, like, hey, when was the last time you had sex? Like yesterday. She laughed at, about a week ago. So now, no, probably a little bit longer. So she has to know that you have other options. She has to respect that you are sexually into her. So if you're a beginner, this is a no-no. You have to have sex and move on. But I've been here for a while. I know, and the underlying tone that she know that I'm not gonna be friend zone. We shower together. We sleep together, naked. So that's the discussion for another story. How the difference between beginner of waiting for sex versus advanced. So, and I'm not even advanced. But anyway, so, and she also, the next day when I brought her to the bar, it's a very interesting thing too, that she showed me how she hustled guys for free drinks. She kind of standing at the bar by herself, so the guy come up, talk to her, and she had some suggestions subtly. Oh, what are you drinking? Blah blah blah. Oh, I like that drink. Blah blah blah. She tried to get them buy a drink for her. Either she saw a guy look at her, and she kind of come close to the guy, but pretend that she wasn't gonna talk to him. So he approached her and buy her drink. She showed me all the technique that she does, she's like hustle guy. And then I told her, yeah, I do the same thing. We play the same game. We supposed to be enemy because you want free drink and you don't want to go home with them, and I want to go home with them without buying them drinks. So we're playing the same game. But she was challenging me. She getting drunk. The more the drunker she get, the more she get into the hustle mode. But she couldn't stop. For us, we're doing day game or game, or even night game that I do for a few years back. I do it sober, so I can stop and I can control everything. But so in the middle, she was like, "No, you probably just talk. You don't probably just talk. You probably don't know how to talk to a girl." Blah blah blah. She kind of challenged me. I'm like, "Okay, fine. Let me show you." Come up, open 3 set, talk to one girl in front of her. Just like stop a girl, and the ball walk by. Like, "Hey, you come here, talk to her." It's like, and I come back to her, like, she's like, "Wow, how do you do it?" Like, just like flow. Like most guys, I have to come like near them, give them some eye contact, and like smile at them. No guy was able to do that. Like, yeah, I mean, I approached you from the street. You don't think I could do it in a bar? And then she's like, "Yeah, probably your leather jacket." I'm like, nah, I don't know. No, look doesn't matter. Let me show you. Take out the jacket, open it, and said, got the Instagram, and said, "Oh, probably flag Instagram." I didn't even like that girl, but she, hey, look doesn't matter. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then what else? But I be able to stop. I'm like, no, I'm here to enjoy my time with you. It's not like I'm not here to game. I'm just at a karaoke bar to hang out with you. You came to visit me. But she getting more and more drunk, so she couldn't stop. She want more validation, more and more and more, She doesn't want to go home. No, let's go to the club. And I didn't know she was that wasted, because this is the first time I hang out with her that she was drinking heavy. So we went to a club, and even when we were dancing together, she kept looking for the other guy, looking around, making eye contact with guys, so guy cannot come up to her, so she can get the validation that she's always starved because she never loved herself. She need that so she feel lovable. And I was so done with, like, nope, I'm out. Either you stay here or you go with me. Set the boundary, walk out. She followed me. Even on the way, some guy grab her and she make eye contact with me. Oh, look at me! Some guy grabbing me. I'm so hot, and like I'm just grab her hand, walk outside. Like nope, I'm done with this shit. And on the way home, those drunk girls you see at the bar, like wasted, walking and saying nonsense, and her friend had to drag her home, or her boyfriend has to deal with all that shit. I usually, oh, poor guy, poor friend, poor guy had to deal with all this basic bitch. And now I was dealing with the exact same thing, and it's so annoying. Like, nope, I'm so done with this shit. I just want to drop you at the airport right now, even though the flight is in the morning. Like, fuck it. I drove her home, get her sober up, some lemon with some Himalayan salt. That help you sober up as well. Got some matcha. Show her how to drink. She sober up a little bit, and then she started crying like crazy, on my chest, saying that she has to play game because she never loved herself. She doesn't feel enough. She doesn't feel lovable. She doesn't want to die so many times. That's why she travel and she do risky thing. If she die, it's not her fault because she doesn't want to suicide. And she wanted to come back to see me because she feel hopeless, and when she's with me, she feels she had a little bit of hope left, and that's why she had to do so many alcohol, drug, and she tried to quit, but she doesn't have a purpose. So then, and I just melted. I said, oh fuck man, I can't be mad at her anymore. But it's made me realize how tough it is for a girl, and that because things come so easy, it becomes so hard for them later. We met at the same point, and she had a strong personality too. But 6 months later, I was doing better, a lot better, and she doing a lot worse compared to 6 months ago. And because she had all of these things thrown at her, it's so easy. So she can just numb herself when she feel bad. When I feel bad, I could numb myself. And I did relapse with porn and not working out, eating shitty food. But it doesn't get me anywhere. If I go say hi to someone, they just like fuck off. But for her, doesn't matter. She just put on a night dress. Doesn't matter how shitty she felt about herself. The guy went, no, let me take you home. Let me take you to a restaurant. Let me take you, fly you here, fly you there. They don't have to change. They don't have to get better. Which why most of them don't. And the connection I have with her, between the two inner child, the two part of ourselves that we shut down for so long, is beautiful, but it's also very toxic. It's beautiful because you don't care how damaged the other person is, how achievable the other person is. She doesn't care about how much money I have. I don't have a lot of money. She doesn't even care. Even the older guy she hang out with, like rich guy, take her, fly her everywhere. She doesn't care about my strength, my weakness. And she respect me. She know, you're so smart compared to the older guy I met. It's a very, very genuine connection between the two broken people, broken part of you that connect, and it's beautiful. But the toxic part of it is, let me cite you a piece from 60 Years of Challenge that I read that really hit me when I was infatuated about her. So this is side from the Relationship Roulette. If you haven't read it, highly recommend. Look it up and read it. It would save your life. But I'll summarize the important that related to Red Pill 102 here. So the book said, so many of the problems guys have in relationship could be solved if they stopped trying to get their female affection from women who are bad for them. These emotionally damaged women can't give you the kind of affection you're looking for. So this affection is good, but it's gonna end eventually because you wasn't the abusive bad boy that treat her bad. You know what I mean? And it's also say the reason why these women are emotionally unstable doesn't matter. You're not a fucking psychiatric. Just know that you are looking for pure affection, these women are not for you. If you're looking for a good affection, a reliable affection, then another one. Don't be one of these men that are obsessed with a woman just because she doesn't like them. This one not relevant to me, but this sentence really hit me. It just becomes two people who don't love themselves trying to get love from the other person. Yeah, listen to it one more time. It is two people who don't love themselves trying to get love from the other person. So even the very good pickup artist, when he looking for some sort of affection, because he had to play the game because he couldn't love himself. He was hoping that the other girl will like him. When he played the game, when he pushed her away, do all the things that he's supposed to do. Or even the abusive girl, but they're hoping the girl will stay. And the damaged girl, that issue, girl usually like that. And then they also hope the other guy will love her back. But because none of either you or the girl, when you in this state, the state that I met her 6 months ago, I didn't love myself. I didn't like any part of myself. I played the game, I did well, but I still feel empty. The same with her. She hustled guys, but in the end of the day, she felt so empty. So we couldn't love ourselves. But when we met, the other person kind of the same situation. He might love me, and I was she might love me, and we connect. That the other person like me, blah blah blah. But it wasn't. It was beautiful. It wasn't real. It was come from a wrong place of needing the other person to complete me, not because you cannot accept yourself, and that's a very bad place to come from. And the second part is why it will never work between me and her, which hurts, but it's true. So the book say these women don't love themselves. Apparently she didn't. She even see aware enough to know that she doesn't like herself. She doesn't think she's lovable. So the book said these women don't love themselves. How are they supposed to love you? They have low self-esteem, so they think anyone who loves them, you, must be a loser. But guy who treats them badly, well, he must be attractive because he sees what she really thinks about herself. She is lame. Ask her about relationship with her father. I mean, I already know all of these, but I didn't know why, because she always run into an abusive guy, and then she complained with me. But then I wasn't gonna play that game. Like, I'm not gonna be your emotional tampon. That is Red Pill 101. I already know it, so I didn't play into it. But I still kind of connected with her, even though I know that there's no future. But she's just the moment you really care about her, give her all the love, you truly care about her, and show her the affection, one good thing for her, she was like, no, she's run away. Maybe if you treat her badly, keep pushing her away, which I did perfectly with so many daddy issues in the past, like push them away, neck down, be kind of mean to them. They just got so turned on that the sex happened so quickly. But the problem is I'm not those abusive guy, and I want to treat a girl good. But when I started to treat them good after sex, they just vanish. And now you know why, because they don't love themselves. So when you treat them well, like, why would you love me? Even the Russian girl, when she was doing chat with me, hey, why do you like me? I am so damaged, I'm so broken, why do you like me? I guess because I'm also broken, but that's why I like you. But that make you a low value guy. But even if you want good thing for her, try to change her, it's hard. Most likely it's gonna get worse, not get better, because that's how things get most of the time, I guess. So yeah, coming up to about 30 minutes now. I'm trying to do 30 minutes like time would always do. Yeah, and then I drove off to the airport, do everything I could. So I guess the lesson is, yes, Red Pill 1 and 2, remember that paragraph, but also don't starve your inner child from love, because it's gonna backfire and blow up in your face. And when that part took over, that's why so many guys, when Tom called the affection addiction, when that part took over, you can't control it. You just do on the crazy thing for the girl, the same with the girl, they couldn't leave the abusive guy because you never take care of your inner child, which is through, like Tom said, activity with friends, families, pet, go into nature. If you are religious, go to practice praying. If you are traveling, and get the oxytocin, so you're not also you might have some childhood abandonment issues. So even if you do those things, it might help, but it will not solve your problem, which I do. That's why I have to work with some coach and therapist to resolve that, because my game gets so good, but it gets so annoying because every time I got a girl, I just got attached and screw everything up, even if with the wrong girl with all the red flags like this one. And it sucks because she is a nice, good, genuine girl, but she's damaged. They can be good girl, genuine, good, that smart, but if they damage, they have all the baggage. There's no future. They're just gonna bring your life down. They can create more drama, and which is not already mentioned in Red Pill 101. Why they want the drama, why they want an abusive guy. If you love her truly and care about her, she lost your attraction. This is textbook, pretty much. But because I experienced it in person, not only see how we didn't not gonna work out, but also see how it damaged the girl so much in a short period of time. I had a photo I took with her 6 months ago, compared to the photo I took with her last weekend. It's compared to photos. I'm pretty much look the same. I guess I'm Asian, but she looks way worse. She got looked like the life got sucked out of her, and she is smart and stronger. So it's hard to. I become a little more empathy with the girl, and I'm less likely to be pissing off with them because these fucking girls that used to be there, this fucking girl got so easy, taking advantage of guys and stuff. When my purple pill period, we all gonna go through that period, which I'm gonna go over in the next video. But I kind of feel bad for them. They might have it easier, but they get kind of messed up in the long run, So yeah, that's the story. That's my lesson from a weekend to a one-nighters and getting over. I guess knowing about this fact, especially reading the relationship roulette, it made me move on a bit easier, because I really want to have something without even open relationship. But it's just not good for your life. If you can manage it, then go ahead. But if you get too deep with a girl like this, it's usually not a good sign. So anyway, we're coming up to 30 something minutes now. I will end this podcast here. If you have any question, comment below to see what you want me to discuss more in the future. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a lot of these podcasts, just trying to express myself, and maybe even if this one help one person, I'm happy with that. If you enjoy Discord, go ahead and join Discord to work out the vote plan in any future video. So feel free to subscribe, comment. I'm just trying to carry whatever Tom left behind and never let it die, especially for Asian guy. It's not easy for Asian guy to get white girls and get good at this. And I got a privilege of doing it while Tom was still alive, so I cannot let that go in vain. I feel obligated to carry this for all the black sheep, bandit, and for all the Asian guy. That's why I make the yellow black sheep one. Now the next podcast lookout will be pick up evolution. That's gonna be from one chapter of the book I'm writing. I would post video and share the screen to have some chart how to pick up from beginner to to the end, from red pill, blue pill, what the process like, what my experience like, how long it might take you, because I had a lot of people in Discord group asking me, I haven't game, but I want to get certain amount going in 1 year, 2 years. Is it realistic? I'll go over that in the next video. And if you have any question, comment below. I hope this is useful for you, even if just one person. If you think this podcast help you, just drop a like so I know how many people this one can actually help. I am happy to see one like, because I know it helps someone. Because I wish my dad or someone was here to taught me this. Tom did, but it's harder to understand when you actually experience it in person. And I hope I can relate it with some of you guys more, because not everyone online you can relate it to. Even some aspect of Tom teaching, if you have an experience, it's harder to get it, and sometimes it's too advanced for a lot of you guys, or even me. So I'm trying to get the basic down, be more relatable to the newbie or the beginner. That's the reason of the whole channel, just to be the foundation for you guys to get into pick up the game, self-help, whatever, healing, getting better at yourself, and not fuck up in the long run. I've been here 7 years and have so many fucked up, not only with pickup but also myself, that I damage myself a lot in the process just to get good at this. So I hope this channel will give you guys some sort of foundation, so you can get, then you can move on to other resources and get better at this, and treat women well. Always follow the code. I always follow the code, so make sure to follow the code that I always do, which that's why it had kept me sane for so long. It's in the book again, but nobody pay attention, which is you should always leave the girl better than you found them, and I follow that strictly. Most of the guy, 90% of the guy I've been with, when they left, they left better physically, emotionally, mentally. And if the girl texts me maybe a few years or 6 months later, hey, I'm moving away, but I'm glad that you came up to me that day, and that warmed my heart, even if I will never see her again. But always leave her better than you found her. And the mantra for life, keep grabbing life by the horn, guys. This will never end. We cannot let it end, and there will be more to come. So there will be up and down, but I'll be here. We have the Discord group. We have a community. I try to create a community, so we be here for each other. Either positive, negative, just there's someone on the same journey as you. Okay, and alright, I'll end it here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.